All right? Whatever it is, let us say, if we can we can represent it. All right. There is something. Within it, there are things that are causes. If there is a sufficient power, these causes then can become manifest.
What a seed to a tree.
Yeah, that's right, seed and tree. Right. In this game, the cause is always greater than its effect. Now, we have an idea of cause, two ideas of cause in the modern world. One is that we don't want to talk about causes anymore, we talk about correlations. So let's drop that one out as not too significant. Right? But the other notion of cause is evolution. That there is something that is evolving in the effect that is always greater than its cause. That's fundamental to modern view. Right? The classic view, which is what I'm presenting here, is that in the creation of the universe, right? In the creation of the universe, all right, God creates the universe in the image in His own image and likeness. Right? It's a copy. What does it copy? There's an idea in the mind of God, right? Just as an artist must have an idea of something he's going to paint. Therefore, that idea becomes the model, and his work becomes the copy. So in the creation of the universe, and God in creating the universe looked upon it and said it was good, it was good, it was good, means that He reflected back on it and made the judgment about it being good. He must have had the idea of good, or He couldn't have made the judgment. Therefore, the idea of good is the model upon which He judges the efficacy of His production. Therefore, there is this idea, right, that's behind all creation. Therefore, if we want to put that as the primary idea which is being manifested in the entire development of creation, then that's the primary cause of everything, and therefore it has contained within it all possible evolutions and all possible transformations. And that's the way the classicist answers the modern.
Well, how can you have within the good?
Pardon me?
How can you have within the good bad? Because there is.
Pardon? Do it again.
Bad becomes manifest.
How does it become manifest? I'll do it again. I didn't.
Okay. Except with the good has the idea, and the idea has to be good because it comes from the good or from God.
That's true.
Then are you just doing with the emanations, there is a draining, and therefore you do have the bad becomes manifest?
No, see, okay. I was going to go, we're now going for the draining, all right? I just needed this in order to go to the drain idea, all right? If God is intelligent enough to go through this process and could make something better than Himself, then if there was any intelligence in God, He should have first used it to make Himself better.
I would.
No. That's the way they answer this. This is the way in terms of metaphysics. Therefore, if there was a creation that trained Him, and the creation was greater than His own idea, then in principle He should have used that to improve Himself rather than create something which in fact trained Him and made Him less than He was.
If man is made in God's image, there can't be bad in God.
No, that's right. That's right. Yeah. The idea of bad in this system can't be evil because that's a demonic force that opposes the good, and that doesn't exist in this kind of a system. That's right. Right. The basic idea of good and bad here is that all men desire the good. No matter what it is they desire, they wouldn't desire it unless they called it good. We may be mistaken about what we call the good, but it's no doubt about the fact that everybody seeks whatever it is they perceive as good. Right. And we go through our lives, go through many a turmoil, only to discover that the thing we thought was good wasn't really as good as what we thought, and therefore we have to get a better good, and that's our own development.
Well, we're assuming an anthropomorphic God, aren't we?
Yes, that's why. You see, only highly developed cultures can have an anthropomorphic God. Oh yeah, only most ideal cultures can have an anthropomorphic God. That's absolutely right. We used to think it was the opposite, but it's not. Oh yeah, it's quite amazing to have an anthropomorphic God. Quite true. Yeah, especially if you add to it wisdom and good and things like that. Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, anthropomorphic. That's right. Yeah. That's the likeness. See, that's the like. There must be something about God. There must be some commonness. See, take the higher and the lower. Let's make another step. All right. Equally well. Notice, call this A, call this C, like our main analogy. All right. There is a part of A. There is now, we can talk about the part of A that is AB. There's the part of C that we can now talk about as BA, isn't it? Right? By heavens. Yeah. Now, what does that mean? It's the same thing mathematically, whether you say 2 times 3 or 3 times 2, but not in this game, because whatever is participating in other, regardless of what it is, all right, there is a likeness. Now, what do we mean by likeness? All right, now we're going to take the idea of likeness in terms of same and other. All right, there must be, if the A is going to be like, all right, if there's going to be a likeness generated by this participation, then one part of it is going to be greater, a greater sameness, that's this part. And this is going to have a greater, a different quality to it. Therefore, if this is something, let us call it, that is eternal, right, then part of what participates in it, part of what's going to participate in it, is going to be enduring, and part is going to be transitory. Whatever is participating, if it's like, there must always be something that's the same, another thing that's different in order to have a likeness. Therefore, that's the likeness, that's the same and different.
Well, how can we say that B is eternal too? You said enduring. Why not say eternal?
Well, okay. See, the argument is, if it is eternal, all right, if they are both eternal and they participate, then why are they participating? They have to participate for something that one of them doesn't have. So then we'll have to describe, all right, what kinds of things participate in one another that are both eternal. Whatever it is that's going to be different, that difference is going to be shared totally, partially. Totally, partially, either talk about in terms of time, enduringly, transitively. See, you can take, well, matter of fact, I have it right here. Here, let me do it. Let's see if I can take this off here. I don't think we need this anymore. Because now we can shift and talk about, all right, if God is one, right, we can also say, since every religion holds this to be true, we can also say the highest